Okay, hi Chem Kids. This is Miss Poe. We're going to be looking at properties and changes of matter. I would suggest having out a sheet of paper to record these notes with highlighters, different colored pencils, whatever helps you learn. Pause the video to take down any information that you need, and after you're done, let me know if you have any questions. We're going to be talking about properties and changes of matter. Properties are observable characteristics of substances. It's what it can do or what you can see. You can have physical properties, which you observe or look at without changing the substance itself. So you can observe the color. You can say if it's a solid, liquid, or gas. You can measure the mass, the volume, calculate the density, observe the boiling point, like of water. If you boil water, you're observing what temperature it boils without changing it from water. Viscosity is resistance to flow or how thick it is. Liquids that are thick, like honey or molasses, are very viscous, while water is not. Malleability is the ability to be hammered into thin sheets. So a lot of metals are very malleable. You can make them into different shapes. Like gold can be made into jewelry. Ductility is the ability to be drawn into thin wires, like copper for electrical wires. The hardness. A diamond is the hardest substance. It can cut glass. If it is magnetic, you can observe if a substance is magnetic without changing the properties of that substance, or if it conducts heat or electricity. So metals conduct heat and electricity well. That's a physical property of them. Chemical properties are different. They're only observed during a chemical reaction. So a chemical property is what you can see it do. So something that's radioactive means that's a chemical property. Uranium is radioactive. When it undergoes that nuclear decay during radioactivity, it changes into completely new elements. If it is reactive, the first column on the periodic table, first group, are the alkali metals. They are very reactive with water. But the last group, the noble gases, are non reactive. That's a chemical property. If something is non reactive, that's a chemical property. If it's toxic or if it's flammable. So, a chemical property of paper is that it can catch on fire. Changes of matter can be physical or chemical. Also, physicals changes are change in matter in which the chemical composition stays the same. If you start with water, you end up with water. There's no chemical reaction happening. Some examples are like you cut a piece of fruit, you boil water, dissolving salt in water. Usually, if you dissolve anything in water, it's going to be a physical change. You are able to get back what you started with in some form or fashion. It's not changing in any form. So a state of matter change, just freezing water, those are all physical changes. Chemical changes are also known as chemical reactions. And it's a change in which pure substances are converted into different pure substances with different characteristics. So, an example would be iron rusting. You have iron and it combines with oxygen in the air to make iron oxide or rust. Now, you don't have iron, you don't have oxygen, you have a combination of the two to make a new compound. Respiration, I'm breathing right now. So, I am taking in oxygen and converting it to carbon dioxide, CO2. Photosynthesis, kind of the opposite. Digestion, or decomposition. You can't get back what you started with. Um, that's the main difference between physical and chemical changes. A physical change, it essentially stays the same. It stays the same substance. So ice melts into water, but they're both water. In a chemical reaction, you do not have the same type of pure substances in the beginning of the reaction as the end. They recombine to form new substances. So I hope that you took all this down. I will be posting a lab video that we have done over physical and chemical changes and some extra work for you guys. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.